I don't know if I got any skills. I just saw the stained glass thing.
When are we supposed to stand up?
I'm not standing up. I have pajama bottoms on.
No, but when they go through the church.
The church.
And they walk in. I was the older boy that had the big cross, and I had to lead the other acolytes, and then the priest in the beginning of Mass, and I would go in the back, or I would lead them back.
I only did it like once or twice.
And then I had to do the wafers, and it was gross when people were open.
Did you do any Sister Act while you were there? Sister
Act?
That movie? I will follow him.
I will follow him.
Follow him wherever he may go. There is no mountain no, there's no... I don't remember it.
Start over. Do it again.
Okay. I will follow him. Follow him. Follow him wherever he may go. There isn't an ocean too deep.
A mountain so high it can keep me away from his show. All right. Welcome to the show.
That was kind of fun. That was kind of fun.
Fiber Hustle. My name is Chip.
My name is Aaron.
I love to sew.
I love to knit and crochet.
And you love to watch.
You do.
Bless you.
Bless you. Season 2, Episode 2.
Yes. So the reason for this most holy of holy shows that we're going to bring to you is based on my lovely tribute.
Gosh, that's great.
To the stained glass. It's supposed to be drunken glass, but it was yesterday we had it in the window and the sun was coming in as if nature herself was smiling upon us.
It was glorious. You have no idea. If we have pictures, we'll put them in here while you're speaking about it.
Oh my God. It was beautiful. And it was like, God, why can't it, hey, how you doing? Why can't we see this all the time? It was really, really great. And you know what's also really great?
What?
These shirts. Mine says, what can it say? You can learn sewing.
Mine says, let's make special brownies.
You're going to need to because you can't learn sewing on this show.
You can. Yeah, most of the time I think you can.
Yeah.
We've been gone. I went on a vacation, as some of you know. I will talk about that at the end of the show.
Is that a mancation?
It was a mancation. I went by myself. It was glorious. I ate anywhere I wanted to eat. There was no arguments. I swear, if you were in a relationship, I think most of arguments start with, what do you want for dinner?
Oh my God, I hate that.
I think we've had that. I wish
everybody
can just go Dutch for dinner.
You know, it's like you can have the best day at work, and then all of a sudden, it's just like that routine, and the worst question I can't stand is, and I know it's a first world problem, but it's like, what do you want to eat? And it's just...
Well, I never get asked that question, though.
Why should you?
Because it'd be nice to...
No, you do get asked, but it's usually, what are you making me?
Oh, very true.
That's what the whole...
With what? I'll say this. They're like, with what? And what else? I'm like, oh my gosh. Get a grip.
Well, no, at least you're better than you used to be because you would always be indifferent, but then very fussy.
Very true.
I mean, we're talking indifferent, would make very ambivalent, could not make a choice, but knew exactly all the things that he didn't want.
And this is after I give him a foot rub every day when he gets home from work.
Oh, please. What planet are you from?
I kid.
You're sick.
I am sick. I've been sick for a week and I'm sweaty right now. But we're going to make it through. The format show, a little bit scattered today, but we are going to make it work.
Sometimes they say, God, this has been a crazy month, a crazy week. No, we have been crazy. We have been having a crazy month, and the month is the month. The week is the week.
Yes.
So welcome to the crazy show.
Yay! Let's talk about your quilt a little bit since we already kind of discussed it.
Okay, so let me just tell you, my piecing work is gorgeous, on point.
It's fleek.
It's
do the
on
kids
fleek.
Still say that? I don't think they do.
I don't know. I'm going to have to check and see in Riverdale if they're saying it.
Oh, gosh. Or Sabrina.
Are you guys watching Sabrina? It's delicious.
It's all the rage.
It's the
dark.
Social media, liberal, conglomerate kind of show. You'll love it.
If you're a fan of this show, you will love it.
Yeah. So anyway, no. So I've been on this journey of like, you're a disaster before you're a master. It takes 10,000 hours to master anything. And so I have been all about the curves.
I don't understand what that means.
Piecing. Curve piecing, of course.
The pear.
The pear. Yeah, that's all we need is not a pear-shaped friend.
No. Whatever. Cookie season's almost here, too. Go on.
Oh, God. You make good cookies.
I know. They're delicious.
But anyway, so I've been on the journey for doing curve piecing, and all of these peels, each one, that's one, this is one, this is one. So there's like 125 blocks to this. It ends up being 90 inches wide by 90 inches long and 7-inch finished blocks. So that took me maybe a week and a half to assemble each block. But I was able to, like last weekend, I was zooming through putting all the blocks together, and I put all the blocks in one day. And my better self told me I should still be pinning after the last time I berated myself for not pinning. I didn't pin. It didn't, but you know what? My piecing
It's amazing.
Is gorgeous.
Effing love it.
So, this was supposed to be a quilt blanket, if you will. Like just something for the sofa.
For the lap.
For the lap, if you will.
How many laps?
Just the big one.
Okay.
Just one big one. And of course, I can, I'm like, go home, go big, go home. And it just kept growing. So I had to like take some of the blocks out, and well, something happened in my life recently that I will get into later. But Aaron's like, why don't you just do a practice quilt when you're deciding how to quilt it? And I made a little Sheamus blanket. So that is the story on this. This is the Batiks collection from, oh gosh, I'll put it in the show notes because I don't remember now. But I really love them. Artisan Lund fabrics. Yes. Okay. And you asked me a question last time about batiks. And
yeah, I didn't know what they were.
I said, I gave you half an answer. I said that it was a waxed cotton, which is true, but I didn't tell you why they do that. So what they do is they'll put a wax on the areas that they don't want the dye to go, and then it leaves whatever is underneath. So it makes, depending on how they use their printing press and where the wax lies, you get all of these beautiful, beautiful fabrics.
But the wax washes out eventually?
Yep. Okay. And actually right now, like dealing with a batik fabric, it's more stiff. But as soon as it gets washed, it just feels like any other cotton, and it's lovely. It's really easy to work with. Nice. At first I was like, why batiks, and why would I want to? And usually it's background fabric that it's like a blender. It gives you a little bit more interest, and then something else is going to be the main star of the whatever the project is. But I was like, I love this fabric so much that I wanted all of the batiks to be the star. And they are the star of the show.
It took a while to put this together. He laid it out on the carpet upstairs, and literally it was a week or two. We kept on moving blocks around and sit on it for a few hours. And the next day he would come home and say, let's try this and move this. And I would say, let's move this. So
it was really hard.
It took a while to get this all the way we want it.
I'm usually very decisive. I make a decision and I run with it. This was really challenging, and I still don't have it. I'd have to keep marinating on it, and I still don't have it exactly in the arrangement that I want. I'm sure somebody else could come in and just polish up my color wheel, make it a little bit more interesting. But it was at some point I was like, you got to move on with life. And so when's the last time that you had to make peace with one of your projects? Well, this was mine. I decided this is what it's going to be, and I'm at peace with that.
Good. So I love it.
I'm at peace with my piecing.
It's going to be nice on the bed.
Yeah. So you went on vacation.
I did.
We went to
2 different things in one weekend. First, we went to the Northwest Quilt Crafts and Sewing Festival.
Two Saturdays ago.
Which is in Puyallup, Washington. It was, we went to the spring one, which was huge and massive.
Yeah.
And we went to the one a few months, not months ago, a couple of weeks ago. Again, in Puyallup, Washington, we met our friend Anj there and her mother and our friend Eric.
Eric, we want you on the show.
Eric does more embroidery. Actually, Eric just goes places and tells people what to buy.
Oh my God.
Buy it, then he leaves.
He's great at shopping. Well, Eric
he's terrible at shopping because this one always buys the stuff he suggests.
Close. So Eric at the festival this 2 weeks ago was looking at the Martinelli adjustable table. What did you call it?
I said it would be nice if it was like a mortician slab thing.
No,
not that. Oh, not that one. Okay, never mind.
That would make all the juices flow out.
They gotta go somewhere. I mean, what do they do with
there's a drain.
Well, they can just drain into the...
It's not a flat table.
I don't know.
It's
watched Dexter for a few seasons.
So when they're doing the embalming and stuff, it's like all the juices just go down the drain.
Okay. What did I call it?
A lowrider.
Oh, like the cars that used to...
Yeah,
it was pretty much like that.
So it's this craft table that actually has hydraulics and it moves. So it's like you're not hunching over. The table is raising up to you and you can do your cut work.
Nice.
And you're piecing. So like maybe... I mean like I didn't win we didn't win... Did you hear that? That's a Freudian slip. I said I didn't win.
If your ass leaves this house... with a winning lottery ticket, and I don't hear from you.
We didn't win the multi-billion-dollar mega billions.
I'm gonna keep that in mind. Even if I went $4, I'd be like,
yeah. So anyway, we didn't win that, so I don't have that table, and we're still here doing this tacky little show.
We are, but then we went downstairs.
What are you talking about?
And you saw something. You had to have.
No, so at the upstairs, we're still at Martinelli, they have these rings.
Oh, yes.
So Eric was like, oh, look, well, Martinelli, besides doing the tables, they actually make for Bernina, they make quilting rings, which are really, really great because when you're quilting, you're moving, at least the way I'm doing it, you're moving the fabric. And so to grab the fabric, you ordinarily are going to wear gloves. And so these are the first pair that I ever got. And I got them, I think, last spring? I got them at that show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I'll tell you, I paid like $8 or $9 for these. And I was way disappointed because... They rip so easy. There is a little membrane at the fingertips of like some kind of poly, some kind of synthetic material that makes it grip. It works, but I ended up finding these at our local Chinese Daiso dollar shop here in Seattle, and for $1.50, these things are perfect. They've got all of these little nubby things, which we'll show you on here, which grab the fabric. And it's like, they're all cotton, except for on the palms. And the other ones were just the fingertips. These are the entire palm. And these work lovely. And at $1.50, I don't mind replacing them. They fit better. I'm really pleased with these. Let's play How to Get Away with Murder.
Let's not.
Oh.
Let's not say we did.
So anyway, so you're moving the fabric, but your hands can get tired, and you can have a ring. So there's these Martinelli rings. This is an 8-inch, and it comes with an 11-inch. And the same folks that make that table, the hydraulic table, they make these rings. And they make them for Bernina, which I had bought a pair like upstairs, and I will say they were more expensive at the show. And when I went downstairs and things happened, I was returning what I got upstairs on the black ones, because of course you want the red Bernina ones.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you can find these on Amazon for like $70.
What?
I paid more at the show.
That's ridiculous.
For the ones upstairs.
Well, that's because Amazon's taking over the world.
Yes, but I will say something else good happened at the show. Because I got these basically for free. Should I say it? I should say it?
You should say it.
I should say it? So I got my Bernina Q20, which is the quilting long arm, and lots to talk about that one. And it's got all kinds of goodies. I got the floor model table that specifically opens up. It's built for the table, and I'm really excited because now my whole quilt will be flush, and there's a lot to learn. It's intimidating. But you know what else happened that was great? Who won something?
This one.
Okay, so if there is a craft show,
you'll win something.
I am 2 for 3.
Yes.
I am 2 for 3. I won one at the Vogue Living.
Vogue Living. Yeah. Vogue Live Knitting Seattle.
Yes. And then I won one at this past sewing festival. So I won a $10 gift certificate at Patty Cake's Quilt Shop. They're out of California, and I think she's only online now. She's at Patty Cake's pattycakesquilt.com. And so there is some fabric. So I chose, and this is a yard of each. I thought this was 2 different yards, but I got this. It's a kind of like a watercolored, and then it's got the reds, and then it's got more purples and blues on the other side. I thought there was 2 different ones, or I actually got 2 of those, but I'm okay with that. And then I got your favorite, which is fun. This is just,
I love that,
kind of very colorful rectangles, which is beautiful. And then also each one of those are it's kind of watercolored, so it all goes together. My favorite is these. So there's a blues and greens, but it reminds me very much of like a Metropolis. What did you call it? Why are you trying to be evil?
The Matrix kind of. I don't know why it reminded me of Matrix, like things, but there's no numbers. I don't know. It's like a cityscape of.
It is like a cityscape, and I just think it's gorgeous. So there's one last one, and this has got the reds and the pinks and the blacks. Thank you for doing that, my love.
You're so welcome.
Okay, so this is more of the pinks. And actually, there's some orange in there, too.
A little hint of it.
Yep, and then more of the reds and blacks. But love it, love it, love it. You know who would like this?
Who?
Rebecca.
Mean Girls Rebecca?
Yeah.
She probably would.
But these are all Moda fabrics. I don't know what collection they are from because she had these as pre-cuts, and they were just, the description just says 1 yard Moda. So I'm sure you could reach out to Patty Cake's pattycakesquiltshop.com, and her name is Patty.
Nice.
Don't ask me where Patty Cakes comes from.
I don't know what a patty cake is. So
patty cake, baker's man. Put it in the oven as fast as you can.
Okay, let's bring it back.
Roll it, stomp it, sting it like a bee. Put it in the oven for you and me.
I don't remember that part.
I don't either.
I
don't know. I was robbed of fairy tales. My parents didn't read to me. But that's...
I got nothing to say.
But we always said we're not going to bring our problems into your living room.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah.
Go on.
So, that was my big win. I mean, I had to pay for stuff. If you guys won something from a shop, are you just going to say, okay, how much can I spend? And then just run? I
don't know. It's kind of like tipping at Subway. It's like, why am I going to tip you to make my sandwich? But then I get it. Like, you win something to bring you into their little booth.
Yeah.
But I don't think you have to go crazy and spend 8 times. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I mean, I think that's the whole point of a giveaway is to bring you in. Hey, suck these.
And they're traveling the country. They got to pay the booth, and
so
it's like you're there, and like it's.
But if there's nothing you want, I don't feel like you should have to spend more money just to make somebody feel good.
I loved what I found.
Oh yeah. I know that.
Yeah. So I'll get in more into the new baby. And what did you get?
We met Janine McCarty from the Yarn and You podcast, and she also dyes her own yarn. I think she commented because we said we were going to be at the Northwest Quilt Craft whatever festival, and she goes, "Hey, while you're there, stop by." We're like, "Of course we will." So we got there, we met her. She is ridiculously lovely. She's so sweet. She's so nice.
Good sport.
She was the only yarn fiberist there, so she kind of had that whole that shit was on lockdown.
It was like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah, it was. So if you were looking for yarn,
it's not just because she was the only game in town. I mean, like I gravitated to her makes.
Yeah, her yarn. She dyes her own, but she also sells like Larna's laces. I saw, and there's some other ones she sells, but we got exclusive ones that she dyed because they were awesome. Here is one. This is a Pop DK 100% superwash merino, 250 yards and 115 grams. And this one is called Favorite Jeans. There's so much color behind us, I don't even know if you're going to be able to see that. But Chip said, "Hey, it looks like denim." I said, "Well, that's probably why it's called Favorite Jeans."
I looked at it, and like they're all in this barrel, and I'm like, well, that one looks like denim. It looks like jeans, and it really does.
Yes, it does. Here's one called Journey. Again, exact same yarn, a DK weight superwash, which a little bit lighter blue than I usually gravitate towards, but
lighter or brighter?
Brighter and a little bit lighter. I was just like, I'm trying to get into the whole color thing because I'm surrounded by color by you all the time, so it's starting to rub off on me a little bit because I'm more of a grays, dark blue thing, but. Gotta try these. I think we're making hats out of all these. And then Chip wanted this one, which is The Wizard Will See You, which is a really gorgeous green.
It's an emerald. And I absolutely... we're going to need more of this because I don't want a hat. I want a shawl.
Oh, apparently I will have to reach out to Janine. And also, a little
we
fun
need more
fact
of this.
About Janine. She, here's her card. I will put it under the GoPro, and it came with a little stitch marker, which is adorable. But I don't know if you guys, it's bejeweled. If you watched Christy Glass's Rhinebeck sweater recap, but anyways, Christy Glass took one of Janine's patterns, which I don't remember the name. I want to say like My Favorite Tee or something like that. I think it's a raglan like t-shirt, and modified the hell out of it. But the base and where Christy Glass started is Janine's t-shirt. So definitely check her out. Her Yarn and You, and she has the Yarn and You Girl. I think it's a podcast. You'll find her. She has a little podcast. She gives you updates and what she's making and updates.
She is intimidating.
Intimidating.
She's up at the crack of dawn. She's doing exercise. She's running her kids around. She's running a business, and she has a full-time job.
It's true.
Janine, you're making me feel like way lazy.
What? Just because you get home and take naps? Okay. Let's move on from that. Then we had to go downstairs, and that's when it happened.
Oh, we ran into Anj and her mom.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's when they had a deal waiting for me. And so I ended up getting...
what's the deal called again? We cannot go on vacation for 2 years? Is that what it's called?
That's the one.
That deal. That's going to be fun for everyone.
Yeah, so there's two types of long arms, and... both of them... Whether you do your quilting on the tabletop or you do it standing up using handlebars, they are both considered long arms. And you had a good analogy of what the difference are.
So what I put together, and I think somebody actually said it to me, so I'm stealing somebody else's thoughts. So long arms, like the huge ones, You control, this is your quilt, piece of paper. Pen is your long arm. You control the pen on the paper. Something like Chip got, which is the Bernina Q20, because I've been hearing the name all week, is you control the paper and not the pen. So the pen is stationary, the needle, and the paper is doing its thing.
Right.
Did that make sense to everybody out there? Everybody follow along?
Good job.
Thank you.
And so there's pros and cons to both. And so for me, space is an issue. And if someday I got more space, I could go up and get a frame and some handlebars.
When you win that lotto and take off?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making sure.
But the big space is an issue, but then also the type of quilting that you intend on doing. So there's if you're doing a huge quilt and you want to get it done quick, you're not doing like micro stippling, or you're not doing this like really fine detail. You're making big movements, and you can move all throughout that quilt and cover a lot of territory very quickly. Now, you sacrifice precision when you do that. So there's like you couldn't do very fine movements when you're trying to move your entire upper body. Whereas with mine, I have to keep wrangling with fabric and readjusting the fabric in between when I'm done this area. So I move on to another area, but that means I have to move the fabric. So that's a trade-off. But at the same time, I could get very fine because I'm able to control immediately what's in front of me a lot better. So both require muscle memory. So it's one of those things where you just, the more you do it, the more you can just let it go and just go with it. And I was hearing this morning when I was driving to work, I realized that we have a thing called flow in gaming, or even if you're operating in, let's say, some kind of accounting program or some kind of software, there's a natural flow with somebody is texting you. I don't know how to do this.
That's fine. Here do I.
Okay, so we're gonna shut his messages off. Rude.
Let's talk about flow and swagger.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? You can put your do not disturb on.
I don't know how to do that.
You do.
There it is. Okay.
So anyway, talk about breaking your flow, right? You're in this zone when you're doing whatever it is, your craft, or you're playing a game, or you're in your software, and it's like you just have this general path that you're taking, and then all of a sudden there's something that's going to break that flow. So that's kind of an analogy for mindful crafting. So it's something that's going to take you. You want to get into a flow where it's just this continuation of you just going, and not breaking. And that's what quilting is. And the more you do that, the more you're going to build up muscle memory.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was a long way to come back.
A little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna give it to you.
But on NPR, they were talking about how like people are stressed out by the politics. They're stressed out by, whatever it is. So at one university, they tested these students and they said, okay, we're going to rate your attractiveness. And so
sky's the limit.
They were inducing stress to these underclassmen, whoever the participants were. And while they were waiting their turn, they gave them a Game Boy with Tetris. And so they would play this, and it lowered their anxiety because they were just in this flow state of playing the game. Those students that were the control, that didn't have that treatment, they ended up walking in with a lot more stress about being rated for their attractiveness. So I thought that was interesting. It's like, what are the things that like I do? And for me, it's like I can forget about time. Sometimes I can forget about eating just because I do the quilting. And it's like, that's like your knitting is very good for you. So, I mean, like we're going to consider this a health investment.
Oh, is that what that whole thing went on? This is a health investment.
Yes. So, so if you're stressed out, tomorrow is election day. Hopefully we'll have everybody's favorite win.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Whatever.
So, anyway, but so this machine is intimidating, but I am not going to, I am going to overcome.
Good.
Yeah.
We all should overcome.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's about it for the quilt show.
Yeah.
But the next day, everything's tying in. Everything's tying in. The next day, we went to Fiberfusion, which is in Monroe, Washington. It was majority... There was a lot of spinners there, some spinner circles and stuff like that. But the reason we did go is because Rebecca from the Mean Girls put out like a knit flag. It's like the bat flag signal that said, hey, let's play fake Rhinebeck. So we met up with the Mean Girls.
Everybody really had their lip out.
What do you mean? That they were not Rhinebeck?
Yeah.
Whatever. It was a mini Rhinebeck, we think. I don't know. But we met Rebecca and Stephanie for the first time from the Mean Girls podcast. It was interesting meeting someone. They were exactly like their podcast, so it was totally fine. But I was a little nervous because we've been talking for, like, Rebecca and I, at least for a few months, just through text and stuff like that. But
Stephanie, you're my favorite.
Rebecca's my favorite, so it all works out. And then Janine actually came with us.
She's
as
also
well.
my favorite.
She's my favorite too. She's my favorite out of all of them. Just kidding. And then so we had a good time. It was fun to hang out with these people. There was no like awkwardness of newness. But then this happened.
Oh my Lord, that was funny.
Stephanie wanted to give the complete Rhinebeck experience,
Authentic.
which Rebecca was missing. And I know last year they had some sheep people or something moving around, and that's why she put on the mask and went full charge towards Rebecca. I thought that wall was going to come down. Everybody around us just kind of went,
oh my, I'm sure they could hear me laughing at the front of at the venue.
It was funny. She wasn't amused.
It was hilarious. It was shot like she did, and she's galloping over there. Nay!
It was hysterical.
It was very funny. Thank you very much. We most certainly enjoyed it. And what did I learn?
The difference between alpaca and llamas?
No, when I went to the restroom.
Oh, God.
I came back from the restroom, y'all, and I
haven't seen him since grade school. Are we talking about the hand washing station?
Yes.
So
the door was open to the men's room
back,
and I see this huge, like 8-foot round.
It's not where everybody pees.
Seriously, there was nobody in there, and it was just me, and I was like, well, those are some brazen wees.
You're just like looking around. Oh, what's up, Bob? No, the old washing things like grade school kids did. The round ones that the water like comes out like a fountain kind of thing.
I came out of the bathroom having taken a picture of this because I was not about to use it because I didn't know who was going to be walking in. And I was like, where's the ice?
I don't think they would put ice as a bar thing.
Do
ladies know this, that they put ice in the urinals at bars for some reason?
So you don't have to flush and they save water.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, anyways.
I didn't know that it was very rustic. I thought it was like, oh my God, these are some brazen wees.
You're like, I'm not going here.
Oh, and so like Janine, she goes, well, we have them in the ladies' room too. I'm like, well, how does that work?
You kind of just hover over it for a little bit.
I'm like, how do you not fall?
I don't.
Oh my God. So I learned something new, and it wasn't about yarn.
It was not about yarn, but it was fun. We also met up with, ran into my friend Chris from Knit Night and met his partner Benjamin.
I call them the Beekman Boys.
Chip calls them the Beekman Boys because they just moved to a new farm, and it sounds like they're going to have everything.
Everything. And they're doing the work themselves.
Yeah, like llamas, pigs, goats, maybe an
chicken
ox or something. I don't know. I don't think they're having an ox, but
when the big quake comes down, we're heading over there if we can.
This is morbid, but I think with the big quake hits, that's going to be taken out by a tsunami.
No, we're fine over here.
Island.
We're fine over here on the east side, but
so they can bring they can Noah's Ark it over here,
and they can do all the duties over here.
But no, and then we got a picture taken with a llama, which was a something llama.
It's a service animal.
Service animal that's gonna like help people,
like an emotional support.
Yeah, and I know that they did that with llamas. Just don't touch the llama's back. It does not.
They do not like that. So you can stroke their neck. They're okay, but as soon as you touch the back, they're like, I'm out of here.
Peace out. Peace out, Papa Bear. But while I was there, I did get some yarn, actually. Actually, it would take me 3 hours to buy it.
You almost didn't because the lady ahead of you was grabbing it.
So bad about that. But this is from, it's Dandelions and Daisies, and her name is Cherish Stevens. She's an indie dyer, especially hand-dyed yarns and fiber. There is her card, which you probably can't see right there, so we're just going to skip that part. But this is really gorgeous yarn. It is called Trinket. It's Moonflower Merino. I have no idea what Moonflower is. It sounds like one of Dweezil Zappa's kids or something, or Frank Zappa's kids. That's Moon Unit.
Is that like boysenberry? There's no such thing?
I don't know.
There's no such thing as a boysenberry.
Fingering weight, 437 yards, 100 grams, 4-ply. And it's all the same color. There's like yellows in there. There is purples in there, whites in there, green clovers, blue horseshoes, all kinds of niceness. And I will probably make some kind of...
Well, I love its nice fall colors.
Excuse me.
I love the royal purples and the blues and the mauve, maroon.
Probably make a shawl out of this. Not the Stephen West Dotted Ray shawl, because I need to get over that.
Even I know that.
I'm sorry, that pattern is so fun and just so enjoyable to watch. In my lap right now, I have my Lorna's lace shawl, which is my boneyard shawl I made a while ago because I was cold earlier.
You wear that thing like it's...
No, I haven't worn it this year yet. Well, since this season.
Around the house?
No, I've been wearing my other Stephen West Dotted Ray shawl, but it got a little too warm. But yes, I love this yarn. I love Janine's yarn. All the yarn I got. So that
Can I see my green again?
Yes, you may see your green again. That was Fiberfusion, and it was really enjoyable. But I think we're going to try to do Rhinebeck next year.
2019.
We're going to try to do it. We have
this is very soft.
A friend of a friend of a friend's sister who knows some guy, apparently has a house in Kingston, which I guess is close to there. We're going to try to get that situation hooked up. But then I heard that Rhinebeck is fun, but then there's a lot of pushing and shoving. I know we've been watching a lot of podcasts, especially Levi. He's like, yeah, some of those people get way up into it, and I don't want to be pushed or shoved.
No, there's several people that have said it. And the thing is no disrespect, but I thought women were the fairer sex until I went to the Oprah.
Oh, God. I think you've told this. Have you started before? Maybe not.
I don't know. But, like, I never had gone to somewhere other than, like, a concert or something where people shove. No, a bar, I guess, But, like, when people push and shove, I was like, I thought women were the fairer sex.
Like, out of my way.
Move out of my way. I'm gay.
Yeah, it's us first. No, but I'm looking forward to it if we go next year. I just don't want that experience because that's just going to put me in an ill mood.
You want to talk about ill mood?
Yes.
We should get to your sweater.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. I was on vacation for 2 weeks. I was sick this week. I have nothing made, but I do want to show you what I'm working on.
Would this be considered progress?
This is Can't Stop Progress. Do you know the movie? Can't Stop Progress. This is my... Okay, again, I know there's plenty other designers out there besides Stephen West, but I am on the Stephen West kick. Let me have it. It's kind of like if you listen to, I don't know, Journey for a week, you're going to listen to Journey for a month.
Oh my God, when he does Portishead, I'm ready to leave.
I don't understand how people don't like Portishead. I like to be sad sometimes. Anyways, here is my Stephen West...
Portishead sweater.
It's not sad. So there's a lot of frustration, and I'm going to present my frustration super jazzed, so it doesn't sound like I'm like... Anyways.
Inside he's dying.
Inside I'm dying. Okay. So I finished the yoke, which I think we got to last time. Which I'm happy about. And look at this gorgeous color that I just got up. Loving it.
How many?
Don't get too close to your TV.
How many things are there?
Here it comes.
How many did you use? Little things.
Different yarn cakes. I think 9. I did so this part is knit 2 fingering weights held together. So you take 2 different colors. I did 3 rounds. Now drop 1, pick another up, do 4 or 5 rounds, drop 1, pick it up, 3, 5, 4, blah, blah, blah.
And you were letting me pick out colors sometimes.
One thing I'd like to mention, this is knit in reverse. So this garter stitch portion is supposed to show on the front. I kind of actually love the stockinette portion.
We both do.
Better. Let me show it under here if I can. I mean, it's
lovely.
It's the bee's knees. I'm loving it. Here's what I think I screwed up and I didn't realize. I think I knit when I binded off the arms or cast up. Oh, sorry. First off, when I was making the armholes and slipping things to different needles in order to do the body, my count was off by 6 stitches. This is where I get infuriated, but I'm going to keep it positive. I was like, 6 stitches? How's that happening? So I counted and counted for 2 hours one night. I said, I don't understand how my count's off. I put it down, come back tomorrow. Came back the next day, started doing some stuff. The math still didn't add up. He's like, do you need help? I'm like, no, I don't need help. Because I'm like, how can something be off? So I was like, I must have screwed up somewhere. I put in errata. Nothing came up. All good. Not good, but nothing came up. So I'm like, it has to be me. Then I started doing stitches within 10. So I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stitch marker. Did a stitch marker. My count was still off. Almost pulling out my hair. So I put it down for a week. Came back from my little vacation.
It's complicated.
I finally put in a rod again. Didn't find anything. So I went to the Ravelry page. And right there on the front Ravelry page, it says, hey, here's some errata for the extra large or extra extra large shirt. And it was off by, I think, the stitch count that I was off. I almost had a BF. Finally figured it out. So I did the armholes. Everything worked out. Then I think I turned it like it asked me to, flipped it inside out, and started knitting. But you know what, guys? I think I screwed up this, actually, the very first stitch here, or first round, because I think it's a stockinette stitch. Then it goes into this. So when I put it on, it kind of puckers up and does this weird thing. I didn't realize that until I got to the very end. So I'm having a moment right now that I really don't want to have. And I'm like, do I continue on? Will I somehow block it so it doesn't pucker up? Did I screw it up? And Chip says, make it into a pillow then. I was like, great idea. So, but then from where I joined it, can I take that apart and then just do that one round over again? Or is that going to look awkward? I'm really having some issues.
Can you send it to somebody and have them do it?
I was like, can I send it to somebody and have them do it? Then I also noticed as I was doing the ribbing at the bottom, it's an I-cord bind off. And I was like, the I-cord bind off in the back looks much better than the front. So I think I screwed that up too. So if you look, here's the back. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it looks kind of just nice and stuff. And the back looks like this. I don't know if it's going to come through the GoPro, but you can definitely tell a difference. The front is like rounded and the back is like, you can see the stitch and all that stuff. So that's what's going on with my sweater. I'm going to finish it. The only good thing is this is a sweater that you don't wear every week or something like that. So it's not like, oh, Aaron's wearing that messed up sweater again. They'll be like, Aaron's wearing that messed up sweater again once every month or once every 2 months. Because you can't pop this on every Thursday or Friday.
I thought you liked ugly sweaters.
I don't think this is ugly. I think it's a work of art. I mean, look at the coloring alone that I did.
I love this. I loved this.
Okay.
This is too much for me, personally.
It's different. But on that note...
It's not ugly.
I'm going to sound like a fanboy. I bought the Stephen West Go-To Raglan pattern. Let me cover up that. See, when I first saw it, I thought this was a bit much. But then there was another picture that they added to it that I was like, oh, this one looks
I like the
a little
black
bit normal. And there's this not normal, but a little bit cool. So I got this, which this part is pretty much made the same, only stockinette. So I'm going to try to do that as well. Also, once I bought this, a day after, I got an email that says, hey, this has errata. Why didn't I get anything for the Marled one? The Marled Mania. That could have saved me hours and hours and hours and hours of counting. But you know what? It's over. I'm over it now.
You have to make peace with it.
But now I know. I just don't. And then maybe I can do an applique here where it bunches up like Christy Glass did with her sweater.
I've got puffy
like
paint.
What am I supposed to say?
We can put puffy paint on it.
Puffy paint. Puffy paint. So that's where my dilemma is and what's going on with me and my sweater.
And we could put glitter on it.
Yes, we could put glitter. Dolly Parton would look lovely right there. Her hair all glittered and stuff.
You want me to do an applique?
Actually, could we do that?
Yeah.
I don't know if it needs to be Dolly, but I think it would be fun to be Dolly because it doesn't make sense. But like, why is Dolly Parton there? I mean, I love her, but I don't know. But that's my sweater drama because I screwed up one row. I think I screwed up the whole thing.
So it's all about problem solving, and so there's a fine community of people that I'm sure will leave comments and say, "This is what I would do."
I got 140 stitches in here, and because of one thing, I don't know how many stitches I have. Anyways, that is it for me. Chip, you made that? What are you working on? What are you doing? I don't want to... Basically, this is the episode that we're showing you our mistakes because we know that we all make them.
Zits and all.
It's like Instagram pictures, you always see the fun person. Yeah, look what I'm doing. We're going to show you the honest stuff. I mean, it happens. I mean, come on.
But you made this lovely hat, too.
I did. I'm wearing my Jason's Cashmere hat, one of my favorite hat patterns I made a while ago. He pulled this out. This is the second hat I ever made, and it was actually made on a loom. I can't tell you anything about the yarn except for it was clearance at Joann's because I think it was like my second ball of yarn I ever bought. Because I started on a loom. Then I went to crochet. Then I went to knitting. And now I kind of just go back.
Then you went to hell.
I went to hell. I haven't loomed anything for a very long time. But after seeing this hat, it kind of makes me want to...
Have a special brownie?
Special brownie and get my loom on.
We don't do that.
So we're too old.
We're too old. Okay. So piecing was all done. And Aaron's like, why don't you make a practice one for Sheamus? And I was like, that's a really good idea. So if like I can kind of practice with the quilting. So I whipped up the pieces, put them all together, 6x5. The piecing all went well. And then I went into the quilting, which, okay, it's a learning curve. I'm good with that. And I'm going to show you what I made. Actually, no. First thing I'll show you is even the pre-quilt to that. So with the new long arm, I had my first, like this is immediately, I love that green in the shot, but just pieces that I'm like, oh, I'm going to experiment. And like, this is not much better than when I went and tried it out at the show. What the best thing is, you guys should get yourself one of these little curved, I think this is like 4 inches. It's considered a 4-inch scissors. And there is a curve. And so I can just go like this and just get those little pieces. I mean, like literally this was cheap. And this is a must-have if you're getting those little quilt bling off. But anyway, so get yourself some scissors. And then I kept trying, and I'm like, oh, look, I wrote my name. And then it actually started getting, I was trying to do a little spiral, and then really bad feathering. But then I started getting into the loops, and I was like, oh, okay, this is starting to get better. Then I went into trying to do a little bit more loops, and I was following in the box. These boxes were done with some ruler work. Where's my shiv?
Your penis shiv?
This is not a penis shiv. This is a ruler.
This looks like a penis and a shiv. It's a penis shiv.
Okay. So you lay it down, and then you let your quilting foot, which this is the number 2 on the Bernina. It has a higher profile right here, and so it just glides and hops along the ruler. And so that was allowing me to get these straight lines and just practicing a little bit. So I think I'm going to do some little practice videos using the ruler work, but I don't have the little rubber stickers to put on there so that it'll actually grab. Right now, if you put your ruler on, you're using 2 fingers to hold the ruler and 2 fingers to hold the fabric, and then you're moving the fabric with your left hand. For me, it's my left hand, and then you're guiding the ruler with the right. But because this slides, because it doesn't have any grip, I opted not to focus on my ruler work. Then I was going to go into meandering. And that's just where you're taking, and it's choose your own adventure, and you're basically trying to follow along and you're trying to maintain evenness throughout all of the stitches so that they're about the same they're same amount away from each other. And I was starting to improve, so I'm happy about that. And then my last practice, it was really getting better, and then I was like, okay, enough is enough. Let's just get to the quilt. So that's when I decided, this won't work anyway because of the design of my little quilt. So I made Sheamus a little blankie.
He loves quilts. He loves laying on quilts.
Especially this time of year, he has been all about them.
He's been trying to get it under him lately.
Except for this one. He hates this one. And I don't blame him. I absolutely do not blame him.
It's the We Messed Up episode.
It's the We Messed Up episode. So I'm going to show you from here. On all of the interior, I did little flowers. And it was really easy. I just do a little serpentine and then a little circle in the middle. And I wasn't looking for exact matchy, but it's about right. So I'm okay with that. Again, this is about practice and developing muscle memory. And then along the border,
I think we're still good.
Okay. Around the border, I did echoing of this. So I have this is the Peter Rob Paul pattern. And so I just echoed and then took another line, echo, and I did that 4 times. And so I am not about to cry if they all don't match. As long as they're in the neighborhood, I was totally good with that. What I'm not pleased, and why I think Sheamus does not love this quilt, is that sometimes you really need to listen to your inner voice that tells you you're doing this wrong. Stop, rip it out, and do it right. And I didn't listen to myself, and I should have. So you get what you give. And I really try to push a square peg in a round hole. It's not going to work. So I'm showing you zits and all how bad my binding is. Like this, Aaron, when I said, I'm friggin' done with it, and it's so bad. It is so bad. Aaron goes, I'm sure it's not that bad. And he comes over and he goes, what happened? What happened there?
Because I know your work, and for some reason, I don't understand what
this does not look like I did it.
You were doing downstairs.
Like, this is really, really, and the more I kept going, the more frustrated I kept getting, and it just kept getting worse. So now, I think what all happened was I did my corners wrong, and just the order and how I was laying things and sewing, it didn't allow me to turn it correctly. So, ordinarily, my corners are nice and square. This ain't square. This is rounded, and it's just like, and the border is not even. This is nothing like I would approve.
Sheamus doesn't approve either.
Sheamus hates this.
We put him on it. He got up and went to the other.
Yeah, he did not like this, and we've even laid it out for him. He won't go near it. He will not go near it.
He demands perfection.
And so do I. So you asked me what I'm going to do.
But, well, aren't you glad, though, you did it on something little first before you go to this thing?
I am so glad that you suggested doing this, because if I had done that to this, I would have been...
I would still hear about it.
I would be piss and vinegar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually, I could just let it go and leave it, but somebody's bound to come over and say, "Oh, that's really cute," and then they're turning, what's that? I couldn't tell anybody I made it. So I'm actually going to sit in front of the TV and pick this border off and redo it.
It's a picking party.
It's a picking party. But other than that, I'm okay with the, less than perfect, it's not store quality of the quilting itself, because it is a learning curve, and I'm okay with that. What I did learn is that I was using this ruler work foot, and unfortunately it was the wrong tool, because this higher profile, it actually blocks your vision for where the needle is striking, and I should have used my darning foot, which is low profile. This is not meant to work with a ruler. This is just meant to glide over the fabric, and you have plenty of view of what you're actually sewing. Mm-hmm. So, that was a good lesson. I was like, oh, I'll just use this because I've used it before, and nope, I should have used the darning foot. So I didn't use any of the rulers, because I just was like, I'm going to try one thing at a time, because it's like, if you try everything new, you don't really realize where you're going right with what tool. So, I'm taking it in littles. I used my gloves, and I used the wrong foot. Next time, I'll use the right foot, the right gloves, and go from there. But I'm not doing anything on this until this is fixed.
October, our makes were just not up to standards.
Yeah.
Maybe November will be kick arse.
Yeah, and then there, I know my friends are like, oh, you're so fussy and everything, but you know how it is. You have to live with what you're making, and you want, why spend the money on the fabric, your tools, your time, and it's like, when you're putting out work that you could have done better, it doesn't feel right. And so, I mean, I'm going to be famous someday, and I don't want somebody to say, this is vintage Chip.
This is terrible. Oh, that's just vintage Chip.
Right.
He was so artsy by screwing everything up.
Yeah. And so, no, I want to say, those other things, that was vintage Chip.
You want to be Eleanor Burns.
I should say it?
Do you like my outfit?
God bless her. I don't ever have lipstick, let alone lipstick on my teeth.
Very true. Very true.
God love her. She is so entertaining. If you ever watch her, she does her AccuQuilt videos, and her son Orion took over the other day, and I think Teresa, her assistant, should let it. She knows what she's doing, and she's at one point telling Orion, or no, she tells the audience, oh, you can tell he doesn't know what he's doing.
Oops.
Yeah, and he's supposed to take the reins someday.
Wait until the mother hen hears that.
Okay, so this past weekend was Quilt Week. So that's where all of the retailers, they go in and they get their samples, and they start
in Houston.
It's Quilt Market. And I would love to see what that's all about. You see, they do classes on the new machines that are coming out. Why?
That's going to pick up in the microphone, and people are going to hear it.
That's progress.
Can't stop it.
But and it's actually, I wanted to give a shout out to Serendipity Woods on Etsy, because I've ordered fabric from her, and she is lovely. It's hard to find somebody if you're selling on Etsy, I applaud you because it's hard to sell.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much competition. But for me, like, I've had a bad experience on there on one of my purchases, and the seller was just awful to deal with. And I found one, Serendipity Woods. She's very, very, very nice. I forget her first name, but she's really prompt, and she gets right back to you. And she has good prices. Her listings are very clear. Shipping is reasonable. So if you ever look for fabric on Etsy, look for Serendipity Woods.
I kind of have a shout out to the Happy Knits Podcast, HAPPEE Knits Podcast
with Yolanda and
Yolanda and Jordan.
Yep.
They mentioned us last time, which is very sweet of them, and we watched an episode, and then we kept on going back and watching more episodes. They make us smile. They make us happy. Jordan is her son. I want to say he's 12, 13, 14. And he's kind of like the comic relief. My mama's doing her thing.
I love the looks that she gives him.
I love the looks that he does.
Yeah.
Because I can see myself doing that.
Are you mocking me?
Yes. No, they're adorable and they're fun to watch. So check them out. If you don't know the Happy Knits Podcast, check out Jordan and Londa. I think Jordan, we haven't gone super far back.
He's in football.
But I don't know if he knits or anything. I think if he has time to sit on that couch, he should be down there doing stuff.
No, his job is to read and keep mom on track.
Okay, but I think that he needs to start doing some stuff.
But Yolanda, I hear you loud and clear. I want to see some quilts though. I understand knitting is your passion and that was going to always come first in your heart, and then I understand that quilting is an obsession, so actually maybe I have to dig deeper into your episodes so I can check out your quilting, but I cannot wait. Maybe we ought to have a challenge together.
Challenges are fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of challenges, I had a baby.
What?
A yarn baby.
Oh, God.
Look at this, gang.
It's beautiful.
Sorry. So, as most of you know, if you're a returning viewer, I went on a road trip by myself. I went down the Oregon coast, the 101, which is so amazing. It was just nice to break free. I will put a video after this episode if you want to watch it. It's like 9.5 minutes. If you don't, thanks for tuning in, all that good stuff. But the very first place I went to when I strolled into Cannon Beach was Coastal Yarns, which everybody told me to go to. And I said, where is your local dyers section? And they said she had a whole wall of it. So I was like, this is pretty awesome. But this is a exclusive colorway for Coastal Yarns. It was a cute little shop. The lady was very nice. We kind of just talked for a while. This is, I think it's Targhee Worsted. Is that Targhee? Is that Targhee? Probably. Something like that. But it's 606 yards. And it's 8.5 ounces. Does that sound right? I don't know. I think that's right. But it's by Blue Moon Fiber Arts. And I was just in love with the orange and blue together. And there's some white in there. It looks like a little bit of gray here. I should have picked up another hank, but for some reason I didn't. So
you know who would love that?
Who?
Lynn from the Stitch TV. She loves her orange.
Oh, she does love orange, doesn't she? So I'm totally excited about this. They had tons of stuff. Super cute shop again.
Do they have more of this?
I probably should order some. They had it in fingering weight as well.
I love
these
colors. I was
like, what am I going to do with it in fingering weight? Then I have been exploring more with fingering weight, so I should have got that. So either I need to go back to Cannon Beach, which I loved anyways.
This is kind of retro.
It is, isn't it?
It's kind of like 80s. Like, this would look great with a jean jacket.
It would. I mean, I fell in love right when I saw it. I was like, I got to get either this or the fingering. I don't know why I didn't buy more of each. Probably because I didn't know. Yeah, me. And I didn't know what my budget was going to be. I was gone for like 3 or 4 days. And I was like, what is my budget going to be?
On your mancation.
One thing I know about yarn stores on the 101, there was another yarn store at Seaside that some people told me to go to, and they are not open Mondays or Tuesdays. So I was not able to go.
Oops.
I went to Tillamook, Oregon, and I pulled in. I was like, oh, there's a yarn store. I stopped. This was on a Tuesday. It was closed as well.
Oops.
And then I got down around Yachts, whatever, something like that. I saw a yarn store. I pulled in, and it was probably about 12 o'clock, and it didn't open until like 2 in the afternoon. I was like, I'm not going to sit here for 2 hours, and because it looked like somebody's kind of house that was just on the side of the road.
Ooh.
So I was like, yeah, this is kind of sketchy. So basically, Coastal Yarns is the only yarn shop I went to.
For you.
Good for my wallet. On the whole way down, I did stop at a Joann's, and I got Chip something from Quilt that was 50% off.
The DeFleur or whatever dye.
But that's the only thing that I saw. But the rest of the trip was awesome. I saw whales.
Lighthouses.
I saw whales, lighthouses. I took some night photography on the beach.
Good food.
Kind of funny because I told my friend Tawana, I'm going to go on the beach and take some night photos. I hope I don't get murdered. She goes, you're a big man with a beard on the beach at night. You look like the murderer.
Aw.
That was rude, but whatever. And then the only other thing about murder is I helped this Norwegian couple jump their van. And I was like, oh, this. And so we kind of hung out for a while. Then like, oh, do you want to see the inside of the van? I go, here it is.
What?
Here's where I get murdered. This is it.
I don't remember you saying that.
Because I wanted to save it for the podcast. Yeah, so
do you want to see? There's a line.
Well, we were talking about their van because our friends Brad and Mercedes have a Mercedes van that they're gonna kind of do van life, and these people are pimping out their van to kind of do van life. So they were from Norway, but they lived in Portland. But for a while, he was like trying to start his car and just wouldn't start. So he was doing
my
the
car,
jumper.
my van.
Yeah, it was. I pulled into this park, and
hey,
they're like, hey, waving me down.
Oh, good.
I'm like, and me being me, I was like, okay, here it is. But then right when he said, oh, do you want to go see the inside of the van? I was like, this is it. This is it.
You're like, nope, I'm good.
I get murdered.
I'm good.
I didn't go in. I go, no, I'm good. I went like this because I thought I made it sound like my car did something. These people weren't going to murder me, I'm assuming.
Isn't that like...
But it was just the red flag went, danger, danger, run.
Well, that's like Janine saying, we're going to arrange a meeting.
We're going to arrange a meeting. So yeah, but I'm alive. I'm great. And it was a really good trip.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Super nice people.
Now I understand why you wanted to go back to church.
Yes, let me go to church. I was just like, this is it. This is it.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if I have anything.
I got nothing else. But I'm excited about this. I need to order another one.
Me so pretty someday. The only thing I have extra would be, I got this at that quilt show.
Last summer.
The last
spring.
one, yeah. And so there's a girl at work who does hand embroidery. And so I'm going to print out, or not, I'm going to embroider one of the motifs. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 20 different motifs. And so I'm going to print one out on a 6x10 hoop and just in black and white, and then let her church it up with colors.
How pretty.
Yeah. So she was really excited because she goes, oh, I would really love to do skull candy. And like, this is the only one I have. So it was just like fate. But we're going to do like on a darker background so that way the colors really pop for her.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't have anything for me knit pretty sometime. I want to finish this sweater. I want to finish my screwed up sweater. And I'm going to live with it. I'm just going to, maybe I'll put some wires in it so it stays tight. I don't know. Whatever.
You know what? I think we should before we go and you play your video for people, I think we need to lay hands on people and say, may your mix be good. May your mix be great. May you be thankful for the things that you can make. Shakalaka, do well.
Yeah.
Be
awesome.
well.
Be well to each other. And start your Christmas knitting if you're going to do it.
Oh my gosh.
People probably started that a long time ago. I haven't done anything yet. Whatever. But thank you for tuning in, and we will see you hopefully soon.
Time.
Bye.
Oh my God, bye. You had a trip.
Yeah, the van people were kind of scary, but it was fine. your hand if you're ready to eat a lot of cheese. After passing it a few times, I finally found Thor's well.